Look, I don't really remember what I did or what I said after a certain time. I was too drunk. So if I did anything or said anything,
You didn't.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Daddy didn't.
Didn't I?
Well, you rambled for a bit. That was about it, really. It was all rubbish.
How was it?
It's probably deeply significant to you while you were saying it, but from where I was stood, it was all very incoherent.
Right. Anyway, I'm sorry. Listen, are you sure that I didn't...
Didn't what?
You sure I didn't take a swing at anybody or anything?
No.
Good. It's the worst thing.
You were in here most of the time, by yourself, mumbling and swearing and shouting at the telly.
I don't remember.
Dad, why are you doing this to yourself?
You know why I'm doing it.
No, I don't. I know why you're angry and I know why you're upset, but I don't know why you're doing this to yourself, mate. And I want you to promise me you're going to stop. I want you to promise me that this is it now.
Look, sometimes it happens to be an easy thing to do, just to black some things out, you know, blur the edges a little bit.
Yeah, well, you've done that now, haven't you? You spent all weekend doing it. Now it's time to pull yourself up sharpish and start looking for a proper answer.
Yeah, well, what if I can't find an answer, eh? What do I do then, eh?
Well, you don't get smashed.
Why not?
Well, for one thing, it's not fair on me. I mean, I've got to live here as well. I don't like seeing you in that state, Dad. I mean, how would you like it, eh? If I come in like that, if I'd spent the whole weekend too drunk to stand up straight and know what was going on.
Yeah, I'd be very angry.
You'd be very upset.
Yeah, I'd be upset. I'm sorry, Andre.
Come on, man, I'll help you clear this.
Tell me. Answer me, come on.
I don't want to discuss it anymore.
I want to know. I want to know what's wrong with me writing to me dad.
I don't mind you writing to your dad. Have you got that? Has it gone in? What I was angry about was you giving him our phone number, stupid. I've said.
You're just trying to stop me having anything to do with him.
Oh, don't be daft.
What is the point of being able to write to him if he can't even get back in touch with me?
Eat your breakfast.
No brains, that's your trouble.
At least you didn't give him our address. Well, I'm assuming you didn't. Oh, Jamie, you didn't!
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have lied to me about him being in Manchester then, should you?
She spent a poor weekend. She barely ventured out. It's these Wiltons. It's them that should be shot.
Then they could be part of the tour then, couldn't they, of course?
Ollie.
There's no laughing matter, you know.
Hello, Bill.
Hiya.
And who do you wants to go on these murder trails, eh? It's sick from the start to finish. Have a good mind to ring up and complain.
You tell him, old lad.
Right, I will.
Ta-ta. Now then, where were we up to? Lunch Saturday. Well, I weren't over hungry because we'd had the breakfast.
You've done breakfast.
And you know, it were beautiful. I'm partial to a kipper with lemon wedge and brown bread.
Llandudno.
Smashing hotel. Lovely room. I was saying to Maury.
And how did you get on?
Me?
Aye, Friday night with Simon.
Oh, not so bad.
She's not seen him again, she says.
I thought you were going to give us a blow-by-blow account of what you had for lunch on Saturday.
I was just telling him about you and Simon.
How come?
We just felt we weren't particularly suited, that's all.
I think there's more to it, and she's not letting on.
Mother, why don't you tell Bill about Llandudno? It was all very amicable.
Oh, hotel room beautiful. And they had this fancy way of folding back the toilet paper.
You see, the trouble with Shirelle is she's a very jealous woman. I mean, if you hadn't found fault with the fact you'd only rehearsed 2 numbers, it'd have been somewhat else. Always quite happy to give people a break, but if you go down better than he does on his own patch, then you've got to watch your back. I blame myself, because I should have warned you. You can get shirty. Here, this is for you.
You're wasting your time, Alec.
What's the matter?
Oh, she's had enough fame, success and fortune. She just wants to be a hairdresser.
Look, it just all felt wrong. It wasn't me, all that. And will you shut up?
Not on stage.
Well, no, it was all that business afterwards. I felt wet. I felt like I was letting everyone take control for me.
Yes, but you didn't feel like that on stage,
Oh,
did you?
Alec, why are you picking on me?
Well, you know
Well,
why.
go and pick on someone
Now,
else.
look, see, I've got some tapes for you here. There's quite a selection. I don't know what appeals, but it's all stuff that'll go down well in clubs. Now, if you were to choose a handful, say, you know, play them over a few times, familiarise yourself, eh?
No, I will.
Look, it's understandable you've got doubts, love. I mean, it's a rough old business. I'd be a fool to pretend anything else, but that's what I'm there for. All you've got to worry about is getting up there and belting it out.
You're rushing me.
Oh, well, you don't have to decide right now. I mean, think about it. I mean, take your time. There's all the time in the world. Within reason.
The minute you walked through the joint, I could tell you was a man of distinction, a real big spender.
He was good looking, polite, loaded. And you decided that you weren't compatible?
I don't want to keep going over it.
Well, I'd have tried a bit harder.
Look, do you really want to know? I felt out of my depth with him.
Well, how do you mean?
Let's not keep going on about it.
Hello.
Hello, Derek.
I've just popped back from work to let you know that I've phoned the so-called Historical Society and advised them not to include our house in the tour anymore.
Right. Thank you.
Well, that's it. That's all. Oh, no, I did emphasise the hurt and the upset that's been caused. They were apologetic for what it's worth. Didn't try to defend themselves.
Well, that's something.
Mavis just been almost sick with worry all weekend.
Yes. Well,
I realise it's nothing compared to the hurt and anger you must feel. Nevertheless, if...
Oh, it's him, is it? Come crawling.
If, in the fullness of time...
I don't
you
know
felt-
how to bare-faced cheek the trouble he's caused.
You felt that you and Mavis could get back the way you were. I know how highly she values your friendship.
I wish I could sweep it under the carpet. I wish I could close my eyes and pretend it never happened. I wish I could say it doesn't matter, but it does.
Tell him.
I know.
How could you not think?
Yes, I know!
It's something that's going to rankle for a long time, and I'm afraid there's no point pretending otherwise. Much as I wish I could.
It's all very unfortunate.
It'll only take you 2 minutes. I've had no chance to sneak out. I've been on my case since this morning.
Oh, all right then. Come on.
Right. £10 each way, triple peel at Leicester, 2.45.
All right, Jack.
Looks like we've found our culprit.
She has only got it into her head, but I'm not allowed to bet on the other horses because I've got one myself.
Oh, yeah.
Right, there's a beer drinking for you, son.
Cheers, thank you. Oh, hello, gentlemen. Can I get you something?
That's very kind. Isn't that very kind, Norris?
Very.
I'll have a scotch and thread. Norris, what can the lad get you?
Oh, well, I'll have a pound with you if you don't mind.
Jack, when you're ready.
Right, come.
You're looking well, are you well?
I'm fine, thank you, yes.
Ain't you looking well, Norris?
Very.
When's your lovely young missus due back?
This weekend.
Oh, you'll have missed her, won't you?
Yes, I have.
A lovely young couple. I said they're a lovely couple. Our sort of man.
Oh, indeed, yes.
Speaking more geometrically, how do you think you're squaring up in the Brotherhood?
Well,
How long have you been with us now?
9 months.
It's never 9 months since you took the oath.
Well, what are you doing on Friday?
Only, we'd like you to come to a small meeting at the Rectangle.
What sort of meeting?
Oh, sure, sort of meeting.
Suffice to say, it would be in your interest to turn up.
Really? Jack, I'll get them.
Nay, lad, let me do this.
Ah, thank you.
Nah, you reach a stage where having a kid seems like the next step. Oh, yeah. I mean, I couldn't stand thought of kids, not for years. But now it just seems right.
That's the way it goes, isn't it? You know, you get married, you get bored with each other, then you start wishing you'd never got married.
But you know that's wrong because you feel guilty, so what do? You have kids, don't you? And that way you're committed to each other whether you like it or not. Happy families. Happy, neurotic, repressed little families.
Who do you think you are? Robbie Coltrane?
Phone number and the address.
And did you tell him that you're pregnant as well?
No, he says not, but what's it matter? As soon as he's out, he's going to be straight round, and then it's only a matter of time, isn't it, before he finds out? Can I move in here? Me and Jamie, can we?
Moving a couple of streets away isn't going to solve that.
No, he's right, love.
What am I supposed to do? Get next bus to Bolivia?
Go and see him.
Hey?
Go and see him at the prison. Go and talk to him.
Have you heard him?
Oh, come on. He can't do that surrounded by a couple of 100 screws, can he?
No, he can't, but he can when he gets out, though, can't he?
You don't know that, do you?
I do know. I know what he's like, Jack.
When was the last time you saw him?
I don't know. 2 years?
Well, you don't know what he's expecting when he gets out, do you? If he knows that you don't feel the same way, maybe...
He knew that. He knew that before he got sent down. It still didn't stop him thinking he owned me. He's going to be straight round to duff me up second he's out.
You don't know. That is the point. It might be in your interest to go and find out how he does feel, and if it looks as if he's going to cause him some kind of trouble, we can make plans.
Look, we look after you, love, won't we, Jack?
Look, I'm just saying you might be jumping the gun. He might not give a toss about little Ujar there.
So she was perfectly civil?
Well, yes, up to a point. She didn't make it hard for me. He tried to, General Montgomery, but I'm not bothered what he thinks.
No, neither am I. I don't know why she puts up with him.
So I'd just leave it for a few weeks.
Why don't I pop round after work?
No, I don't think that's a...
Now that you've paved the way.
Just leave it. Just give it time. That's what's needed now, more than anything.
Any road. How come you reckon to know so much about marriage? You've never been married, have you?
Haven't I?
Have you?
Well, I might have.
You haven't even got a boyfriend.
Haven't I?
Well, where is he then? Never comes in here, does he?
Well, between me and you, I prefer women.
Yeah, well, that's probably a good job. Because most men I know would run a mile from you.
I think I might pop round later with a box of chocolates.
Yeah?
Well, you know, a token, something. Do you think I should?
It's up to you, love.
You don't think it would be inappropriate or flippant?
It sounds like it could be a very nice gesture.
Right. Ta-ra. Oh, we've had a falling out with Emily, me and Derek, haven't it? It's all the fault of the Weatherfield Historical Society. And it's no wonder they weren't up front and honest with us when they asked if they could...
Having the time of my life. Ooh, see that girl.
Oh, sorry, we were just having a laugh.
Don't let me stop you ever doing that.
Well, Alec lent us some tapes and...
Yeah, I know, he told me.
Did he?
Yes, he popped in earlier. Asked me to call round and stick me oar in.
Really?
Well, normally I'd tell him where to get off. Normally I'd mind my own business. Except I'd hate to see you throw it all away just because of one bad experience.
Yeah, I know.
Alec doesn't put money out, you know, the way he has for you. Not unless he's pretty sure he's onto something good. Actually, that's why he's never really made it much above the club circuit level. Managerially. Never really took any chances. You're potentially the biggest thing that's ever happened to Alec.
Go on, go for it. I keep telling her. I've been telling her all weekend now.
Of course, the other reason Alec never really made it was because he never really had any taste. But even people like Alec occasionally make the right decisions.
Yes?
I'd like to speak to Emily, please.
Yes, what happens she didn't want to speak to you?
Well, maybe she'd like to tell me that herself, if that's the case.
Well, she's tried, but you don't seem to be taking any notice.
It's all right, Mr. Sutton, thank you. You go and see to the tea.
Have I called at a bad time?
Not particularly.
Well, it's just a token to say I'm sorry.
What is it?
Chocolates. I know that you're very fond of mint creams.
Well, I'd like to say how thoughtful, except I don't think it is. Those aren't to make me feel better.
to make you feel better.
Well, I just thought...
I don't think you do think, Mavis. Not much, except about yourself. I can't believe that it hadn't occurred to you, especially after you knew it was a murder tour, that was where my husband died. And if you want me to ease your conscience by accepting a box of chocolates, I'm afraid you've got another thing coming.
Well, perhaps you'd like to give them to somebody else, maybe on one of your hospital visits.
Yes, or perhaps you could.
Pardon?
Perhaps you could go and give them to someone needy, someone lonely. Except you won't, will you? You might consider it for a few moments, now it's been suggested, and then you'll take them and put them back on the shelf in the cabin. You'll do the easiest thing, the thing that's easiest for you.
Yes, well, I'm not a hospital visitor, am I?
No.
Ever fancied being a square dealer, Ken?
No. Funnily enough, rolling up my trouser leg and burying my chest with a ritually slaughtered chicken balanced on my head while I chant some gibberish with a few other blokes has never really appealed to me.
We don't do that sort of thing. No. The point is, if you were interested, Curly's a lad to get you in. He's on the way up now, isn't he? Eh?
You don't know that.
Well, what was all that about then, eh?
I wish you'd keep your voice down.
Hey, big mates, buying you drinks, whispering, giggling like a load of little girls.
Did your horse win?
Get hell.
I tried to tell you not to go round.
Well, that's it now, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, what more can I do? If she won't accept an apology, if she's going to be obtuse.
What are you going to do about those?
I don't know. Do you want them?
Well, no, not really. You could put them back on the shelf.
No.
Why not? They've not been opened. You get your money back.
Let's go home.
What about these?
Oh, just leave them there. Perhaps somebody needy will find them.
Oh, Bill, could you put the latch down and put the sign over, please?
Yeah. I thought you didn't normally close till 8 o'clock.
I don't care. I've had enough. I'm going home.
Do you want to go for a drink then?
Oh, no, thanks.
Where's Maud?
She went home ages ago.
Well, look, what I really came round for, I was wondering what you were doing Thursday evening.
Oh, Thursday, nothing.
Only I've said I'd take Rosie to the pictures and, well, I'm a bit worried now that I've taken on a bit more than I can handle.
God.
No, I'm serious.
Don't be daft.
Is that a yes, then?
Quite honestly, Bill, I'm that tired. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I'd probably have forgotten by Thursday if I said yes.
Well, I'll tell you again, a bit nearer to.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, you're not seeing that bloke again, then?
Oh, no.
Have you got any more dates lined up?
No, I thought I'd just give it a rest, for a bit.
What happened?
Nothing.
Something must have.
Not really, no.
He didn't try anything on, did he?
No. He never turned up.
Never turned up?
I don't know why I'm crying. I couldn't care less. His eyes were too close together. It's just that, sometimes you miss somebody's arms around you, don't you? That's what it is. Somebody, to be close to you. Somebody just to take away just all those troubles just for a minute.
Oi! Don't you lecture me, Andrew MacDonald, you hear me?
Well, look at the state of you, man, for God's sake.
Listen, if I want to have a wee drink, I'll have a drink, all right? Now, what business is that of anybody else's? Tell me that.
Oh, so you're going to puke up and vomit everywhere, are you? Or is that none of my business either?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what my business is. If I can't puke up and vomit in the comfort of my own home, then where in the name of God am I meant to do it? Who the hell's that?
I don't believe this.
Look, I am having a bit of a hard time here, Andrew. Do you understand me? I just wish some people could cut me a wee bit of slack and be a wee bit more forgiving, just for once,
Right, well, I'll answer the door then.
Is that because you think I'm too drunk to answer my own door? Shut up! Well, I'll tell you something, Andrew. You're just a lodger here. Don't forget it.
What's going on? What's all this shouting about? Is someone been murdered?
I'm sorry, Sal.
My kids are trying to get to sleep when you finish shouting your daft head off.
Really?
Drinking.
Oh, well, what a surprise. Jim McDonald's been drinking. Listen, lady, I never mentioned a word when your babies were screaming their heads off all through the night.
You keep your voice down, Jim, or I'm going to call the police.
Oi! Don't you mention the police to me, young woman. You hear me? Don't mention the police.
Mother will be wondering where I am.
Well?
I'll best get back.
Well, it's good for a drink.
I'm sorry, I've been feeling a bit low, you see.
Don't apologise.
I've got to put the burglar alarm on.
What's the matter?
I didn't mean to.
Look, I like you, Maureen. You know I like
It's
you.
been a long day and
Don't be embarrassed.
I'm not.
Look, you can't just go home.
I didn't know to stop me. I'm all right.
Well, let me see you home then.
No, I've got the van outside.
Well, let me take you home.
No, I'm all right, really. I'm all right.
I hope I haven't done something wrong.
No, of course not.
You just want me to go then, is that?
I can't put the burglar alarm on until you do, you see.
All right, then, okay, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. I'll see you then, yeah.
Yes, of course, yes.
Shut up! Shut up! You keep your noise down, Dr. Whitney. Who the hell do you think you are?
Hey, what the hell?
Well, away down the amateur, down the room.
Jim,
come on.
Jim, take it easy. Go back inside, sit down in front of the TV. Stop making an exhibition of yourself on the street.
All right.
Come on.
Shut up.
Hey,
And you, Mrs. Webster. Keep
up,
your noise
Jim,
down.
get in.
Dad, get inside.
You all right?
Sorry, Sam.
You all right?
Yeah, thanks. I just hope he keeps that noise down.
Where's that, Kevin?
He's come out for a drink with Tony. Better go and see to the girls.
Yeah.
See you, Bill.
All right, love, yeah.